Good morning everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the Chloe beanie, including the rows and leaves. If you already know how to crochet, check out for a link below to an easy tutorial that moves a lot quicker. But if you are a beginner, this is the one you want to watch. I'll be showing you the stitches as we go to make this hat. All right, we're ready to get started. So all you're going to need for the base of this hat is about 65 to 70 grams of a worsted weight yarn. I'm using the Bernat Handicrafter. I'm actually using it in the aqua color, but could not find my wrapper. So this is what I'm using. And a 6.5 millimeter hook. And then we're going to need a 5.5 millimeter hook when we make the band. And one last thing before we get into the video, I want to show you really quickly here how to slow down the video. If I'm moving too fast, you can set the speed here. Okay, so to make the slip knot, you're going to cross your yarn over, creating an X. Just pinch that X as you reach through the loop and grab the loose tail of yarn. Then pull that through the circle, grab the other two ends, and slowly pull up to close that loop. Slide your hook from back to front, then pull on the loose tail to close the loop, and don't close it too tight because you want to be able to pull your hook through. Now moving on to the chain stitch, you're going to wrap the yarn over and then gently pull on the tail to open the loop that's on your hook and pull the hook through. Your yarn over, pull down through the loop, and that's your second chain made. If at any point you need to re-watch how you make a stitch or find a certain row, I'm placing timestamps below, and you can just click on those and it's going to take you exactly where you need to be in the video. So for round one, we're working in the second chain from the hook, so you don't count the loop. Count down 1, then 2, that's your second chain. We're going to be working 8 half double crochets. To make a half double crochet, you're going to put the yarn over your hook and then insert it into that second chain right there. Yarn over again, holding the loops on the hook with your finger and pulling that loop through. You're going to have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So we'll do that again. We're going to wrap the yarn over our hook, insert into that same chain, yarn over, pull through, pull up a loop, yarn over, and through all 3 loops. So that's 2 half double crochets done, and we'll do our third. And that's 3. And if you want to work ahead, there's timestamps below. You can just go down and click on round 2. And that's 4. I'm moving very slowly here, so if people are having problems, they can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm sorry if it's torturous for some, but I thought it could be helpful. So that's 5, and 6. You can also speed up the video as well. Just double checking what I have here, and 2 more. And if you're running out of space, just push them to the side as I'm doing here. That's 7 and 8. Perfect. So just count now. Make sure you have 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Perfect. Each V is a stitch. So moving on to round 2, we're going to be working 2 half double crochets in each stitch around, which means we'll be doubling our number of stitches. At the end of round 2, you'll have 16 stitches. So we're just working a half double crochet in there, followed by another half double crochet right into that same stitch. So right in there, right beside the stitch we just made, we're going to place another half double crochet. Now we're going to be doing the exact same thing in the stitch beside, working a half double crochet, followed by another half double crochet directly into that same stitch. You can see when you're working the two stitches into one, it forms almost like a V, and that's how you can tell where your increases are made. So you're going to continue that pattern all the way around, working 2 half double crochet into each stitch. So we're just finishing off round 2, working 2 half double crochets in that last stitch, and you're going to want to confirm that you do have 16 stitches at the end of this round. Okay, so for round 3, we're going to work more increases, and we're going to do this by working 1 half double crochet into the first stitch of the round. That's 1, followed by 2 half double crochet in the next. That's 1 and 2. Make sure to put your stitch marker back in. It's just going to make finding the beginning of the rounds so much easier. Now you're going to work 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, followed by 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. So you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around until you meet the end of this round, and you'll see here I've made a note that the asterisks mean that you're going to repeat what's in between them. So keep working this round and we'll meet up to finish it off and move on to round 4. Okay, so we're at the end of round 3. We're just going to place 2 half double crochet into the last stitch and confirm that we have 24 stitches for this round. It is so important that we keep track of our number of stitches. If they are incorrect, the hat could end up too small or too large. Okay, moving on to round 4, another increase round. We're going to be working 1 half double crochet into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next. Put your stitch marker back in to keep your spot. And then we're going to be placing 2 half double crochet in that next stitch, followed by 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 and 2, and that is your pattern repeat for this round. So you can follow me one more time. We have 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. There's 1, going back in, that's 2, followed by 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So just continue that way all the way around, then we'll meet up to finish the round and do our final count. So at the end of round 4, we're just going to place 2 half double crochets in that last stitch and count our stitches and make sure that we have 32 stitches all the way around. Okay, moving on to round 5, another increase round. We're going to start this round by working 1 half double crochet into the first 3 stitches. So that's 1, that's 2, and 3, and then we'll be working 2 half double crochet. Oh, let's not forget to put our stitch marker back in to mark the beginning of the round. We're working 2 half double crochet into the next, followed by 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that is going to be your pattern repeat for this round. So remember, everything between the asterisks is what you repeat. Okay, so we're going to work 2 half double crochet in there, followed by 1 half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So repeat that all the way around and we'll meet up at the end of round 5. So just finishing up with 2 half double crochet in the last stitch, and for round 5 we should have 40 stitches all together. Okay, so moving on to round 6, this is going to be our last increase round, and we're going to be working 1 half double crochet into the first 4 stitches. So that's 1, get our stitch marker back in there to keep our place so we can find the beginning of each round. And that's 2 and 3 and 4. The next stitch will be an increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll be working 2 half double crochet right into the same stitch, doing our increase. It's 1 and 2, followed by 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is going to be our pattern repeat for round 6. So just keep working exactly as written here. So 2 half double crochets in that same stitch, followed by 1 half double crochet in the next 4, and then we'll meet up and do the final stitch count and finish off round 6. So we're just going to finish round 6 with 2 half double crochet in the last stitch, and your stitch count should be 48 stitches. Okay, let's do a quick gauge check. Now that we've finished round 6, your piece should measure approximately 5.5 inches across. So if you're way off, go back and double check your stitch count. That probably is what the... Okay, so we're moving into the texture round, and I want to show you how to do the cross cluster stitch up close. So you're going to be working 2 double crochet, and don't worry about where I'm working it at the moment. I'm going to show you that in the following rounds, into 1 stitch. So 2 double crochet into 1 stitch. Then what you're going to be doing is working back in front of those 2 stitches into the stitch that we skipped beside. So then you're going to place a double crochet right into that stitch. And you'll see that stitch crossing right over front. So let's do that again. So we're going to go over 3 stitches. So skipping 2, working in the 3rd. We're going to work 2 double crochet, and again, just watch for now. I'm going to be showing you later and showing you also how to do the double crochet. So we're just finished those 2 double crochet, go back and work into the stitch that we skipped beside it. Okay, so double crochet in the 2nd skipped stitch. I feel like this is all a total tongue twister. Anyways, we're going to move on to round 7, and I'm going to be showing you how to do these and how to make the double crochet. I just wanted you to see it first. Okay, moving on to round 7, we're going to be skipping the first 2 stitches, working a double crochet into the 3rd. So to make a double crochet, you wrap your yarn around your hook, insert it into that stitch under both loops, wrap the yarn around your hook again, pull it back through, then hold on to those 3 loops that are on your hook with your finger, yarn over, pull it through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull it through those 2 loops again. And that's your double crochet made. Now we're going to be working right back into that same stitch because we're placing 2 into the same stitch. So right there beside it, we're going to yarn over, insert the hook, pull it through. You have your 3 loops, yarn over, pull it through 2, and then yarn over and pull it through 2 again, and that's your double crochet made. I will leave links to everything below so you can go back and double check how those stitches are made. So now we're going to be crossing over and working in that skip stitch there, so you can see the diagram. Just pause if you need to take a good look. So we're just going to be doing a double crochet into that 2nd skipped stitch, so really right beside the 2 double crochets you just made. That's the easiest way to remember it. So we'll just finish off our double crochet, and that's the first cluster made. I'll put a stamp below if you want to go back and double check how those are made. So we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, working in the 3rd. We're going to place 2 double crochet. Take a look how I've noted the stitches here on the film. I've highlighted or bolded the ones that we're currently working on. So we're working 2 double crochets right now. And this is your second. And then we're going to cross back over and work in the second skipped stitch. So that's the stitch right beside where we were just working. So go back and do your double crochet there. And this is going to be your pattern repeat for the rest of this round. So you're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and then you're going to start all over again, working what's in between the asterisks for the rest of the round. So I'm just working the 2 double crochet into the 1 stitch, and you'll continue this way around. Okay, so you can pause the video here, continue working. We should still have 48 stitches at the end of this round. Make sure that you're not putting any extras in, and then we'll meet up. We'll finish this round and start on round 8. So just finishing up round 7 here, we're going to do our last cluster, and then we will be skipping our very last stitch and moving on to round 8. Okay, for round 8 we are going to be working a single crochet. Make sure that you go underneath all the loops. You insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull it back up, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and through 2 loops, and that's your first single crochet made. Then you're going to work under both loops, insert your hook, yarn over, pull that loop through, yarn over and through both loops on your hook. So this is what you're going to be doing all the way around. So we'll do one more. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up the loop, yarn over and through both loops on your hook. Then you're going to make sure that you catch all those loops there to keep it nice and tidy. So under all of them, pull up a loop, yarn over and through the loop. So you're going to work the single crochets in every stitch around, making sure that at the end of the round you still have 48 stitches. So I'll meet up with you at the end. Okay, so here we are at the end. We're just going to work 1 single crochet and make sure that we still have 48 stitches. For round 9, we'll be working the cluster stitch again. So we're going to skip the first stitch this time. Working into the second, we're going to work 2 double crochet. That's 1 and 2. And then working in the skip stitch, we're going to place another double crochet, and that is the cluster stitch that we worked in round 7. We'll be skipping the next 2 stitches and then working the cluster stitch in the third. So you're going to place 2 double crochet. That's 1 and 2. And then work back in the second skip stitch, 1 double crochet, and that is your cluster stitch made. And then you're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and this is your repeat, working the entire round of round 9, and at the end you just want to check and make sure that you still have 48 stitches. So I'll meet up with you at the end of round 9 and we'll move on to round 10. So for the end of round 9, we're just going to finish up with a cluster stitch and skip the last stitch before we move on to round 10. Okay, round 10 is an easy one again. We're going to start working into the very first stitch, picking up all the loops, a single crochet, and you are going to be working a single crochet in every stitch around. At the end of round 10, just double check once again that you've got 48 stitches. We want to make sure that this hat is going to fit perfectly, and I will meet up with you to go on to round 11. So good luck. Let me know how things are going. Give it a thumbs up if everything's going okay. Am I moving slowly enough? Am I missing any information? What could I do to make the video easier for you to follow? Any input is appreciated. Okay, so we're at the end of round 10 here. And we are going to do a single crochet and move right into round 11, which will be the cluster stitch. Again, we'll be skipping the first stitch. By skipping that first stitch, that's what allows the cluster to go on a slant and not be stacked directly on top of each other. So just working our double crochets here. This is our second one. And then of course we'll go back and work a double crochet in the skipped stitch. And then our cluster's made. Let's put the stitch marker in, keep our place. We'll skip the next 2 stitches, working into the third. Oops, I guess I lost count there. Working into the third, and again, this is our repeat for round 11. You're going to work 2 double crochet, followed by a double crochet, working in the second skipped stitch, still finding it a tongue twister, and then you're going to skip the next 2 stitches. So keep working all the way around like this, and we will meet up for round 12. Okay, just finishing up round 11 here. We're going to skip the last stitch and move on to round 12, where it will be once again a round of single crochet into each stitch around. Just double check at the end that you still have 48 stitches. So moving on to round 13, this will be our last round of the cluster stitch. We are going to be skipping the first stitch, working 2 double crochet into the next stitch, followed by a double crochet in the second skip stitch. I'm sure you are a pro at this cluster stitch by now, so I will leave you to finish round 13 following the instructions on the screen, and we'll meet up and start finishing off the band of the hat. Okay, we are ready to start the contrast band. So change to a 5.5 millimeter hook and your contrast yarn. So what I like to do is start a stitch. So you'll see here I'm starting the single crochet. I've inserted my hook, and then I like to pick up the contrast yarn and finish off my stitch. That's pretty much how I always do my color changes. I just find it easy and neat, but if you have another way of doing it, go for it. I mean, as long as the color gets changed, it really doesn't matter how. Okay, working our final rounds, 14 through 18. All we are going to be doing now that we have changed our color is working a single crochet in every stitch around. So you can work continuously, you can join if you're more comfortable doing that, but here I am at the end of round 14, and I am just going to work directly into the first stitch there and continue working rounds 15 through 18. Okay, the last thing we're going to be doing is fastening off. So all you're going to do is work into that next single crochet with a slip stitch, pull it through, and then yarn over hook, pull that through, and then just leave a long enough tail to weave in, sew in, and clip it. I'll just show everyone who's not sure how to weave in the ends here. All I'm going to be doing is working into my stitches. Make sure that you're not working in the spaces. You want some resistance against that thread so that they don't come out. And that's all you need to do. So the last thing that we need to do for the base of the hat is to do that final stitching. So what I've done here is I've taken 4 lengths, maybe a little bit more than 4 lengths of the hat when it's laying flat. Let's say 4.5 or 5 to give yourself lots of yarn. And then just knot it at the end to secure it. Now, the end that I have here was a little bit too short. I should have left it much longer so that we could have woven it in as well. But you'll see how I took care of that at the end. So you're just going to be taking your needle, a single thread, so it's doubled but not knotted as doubled, and pull it through one of the stitches at the center back seam, and then count over 2. I'm getting a lot of glare off the white. I'm really sorry about that. So skip the next stitch and then work through the back of the next. So working in every other stitch, you're just winding the yarn around, always threading it through from back to front. Okay, so I finished doing that all the way around, and that's the little beanie done. Make sure to click on the next video shown in the end screen here, and we'll go on to make the rose.